simple decisions inside your business take days, sometimes weeks, I've seen, instead of minutes or even seconds, this video is for you. One of the clearest alarm bells that a company is developing friction in their operations is how long it's taking you to make those everyday decisions. And I'm not talking the big strategic stuff, just those tiny little operational ones, like approving an exception for a client, or adjusting a delivery timeline on a project, or just making a pricing decision. Maybe it's solving a problem that your team has already seen multiple times before. And what we see is in growing organizations, these decisions tend to move slowly because someone is asking their manager, and then the manager will check with leadership. And then leadership is potentially, if they're not the founders, they're going to the founders, and the answer works its way back down, depending on how many layers you have, right? And by the time the decision is made, hours, days, weeks, I have seen weeks have passed. And when this pattern keeps cropping up, people assume it's a communication issue, right? But what I found, you peel back those layers and the real issue is something else. We never actually defined how decisions should be made. So in that case, every situation feels new. It feels like it's the first time we've encountered it. And so every decision requires this discussion and this conversation, and every unusual scenario ends up getting moved up the chain and escalated. And slowly but surely, people become cautious, and instead of acting, they ask. Slows everything down. And we see organizations that have scaled really well actually intentionally ask this question: how do you make decisions? You will find me, if you've seen me at networking events, or if we've chatted on LinkedIn or whatever, that's one of the first questions I ask people, because I'm fascinated. How do you make decisions in your organization? And the ones that are crushing it have decision rules, or they have guardrails, if you like. One of my clients calls it the corral, if you will. So they can move around in this corral as long as they don't make any decisions outside of it. So instead of reinventing decisions every time, those teams follow a framework. Here's an example. Let's say a client request falls within a particular dollar range or a particular time range. Just approve it, just get it done. And if a project delay is within a certain threshold, delivery team, you got this. Or it could be that, you need to approve an additional piece of work. As long as it's within this realm, all yours to approve. If that situation falls outside of those decision rules, just escalate it. Easy. And once those decision rules exist, something so interesting happens. You can picture it, right? Things will start to move faster, because most decisions, you'll still have some, but most decisions don't have to travel upward because they're already handled by your system. So let's get practical for a second. Here's a simple diagnostic question you can ask yourself today. In your business, what decisions still take far longer than they should? Now, you might need to think about this for a second, but what you'll find is that usually there's an opportunity there for you to implement missing operational frameworks. So if you want to identify where those decision slowdowns exist inside your business, and potentially where there's some other risks that we can solve for you, come and hang out with me. I'm hosting a small ops risk roundtable this week where we walk through a diagnostic together. Diagnostic, even English. Diagnostic. Not about slides, not about pitching. This is a working group. So we hang out and we're identifying where that operational friction actually lives inside your business. And if you want to come and hang out, if you'd like an invite, comment the word roundtable below and